All right. We'll give this a minute. That's weird. This thing just freaking glitched. That was interesting. All right. So, can you guys hear me all right? Just let me know if you can hear me okay, guys. Yes? Uh, Clear? Okay, yes. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right. Well, welcome. We're going to talk about the Giuliani interview a bit. We'll get into that. We're going to talk about that whole thing, and we'll get into that shortly. But I want to remind everybody if we have any interruptions in the stream, any issues, that I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can, just so you guys know ahead of time, so that we can moving forward, we get that all squared away. I also would like to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. So, um, yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about all that. Um, Somebody was just saying that Giuliani was a guy that destroyed the New York Mafia. So, anyway, again, it, family-friendly oriented channel. Please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot follow those rules, those awesome people that you see lit up in blue will boot you out of here. Okay, so just putting that out there right in the very beginning, so nobody has any kind of thing saying, "Oh, I didn't know." Okay, so YouTube's, I believe, is playing a few games again. To be honest with you, but that's par for the course. Not surprising at all. I have to laugh. It's ridiculous what they do on a regular basis, but you have to suck it up and deal with it. So I want to address something first. So obviously the video came out where we ruptured the propane line. Okay. So let me be clear on a couple of things to start out with. All right. I just wanted to address this because I saw the comments. I have done a video that will come up I think it comes up Saturday, where I addressed it, but I'm going to address it right here, right now for people as well. All right. I show on my channel the positive, the negative. I always show mistakes because I believe it's important to show mistakes that happen because it's being really transparent. Okay. If I just cut out that, which I could have absolutely done, you guys never would have known that we did that major screw up, right? And nobody would have been the wiser. But I think it's really important, if you screw up and you make a mistake, that you own up to it. You say, hey, that's on me. Boom, I did it. And that's why I showed it. Okay. So number one, all the people that said, oh my God, I would get rid of those people. I wouldn't have them working on my property, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Number one. Well, let me even go back first before we get to that. Oh, you got to call 1-800-DIG. They'll tell you where all the lines are on your property, blah, blah, blah. That one, right? We'll talk about that one first, and then we'll go to the second part. So that one, if I called them, they would say to me, there are no lines on your property because there is no record of any of those lines on my property, okay? Just so you know, everything that has been done on my property, we did on my property, other than the propane line, which was done by the propane company, but they don't map it out. They're not going to come, they don't have a thing mapping that out. Okay. That's just putting that out there. So for all those people, I don't live in the city, guys. I'm not worried about big underground cables or underground things that, as far as our water line went, I had an idea how it went, but because of the way that the water tank was sitting, it actually went out at an angle and then comes back around. Okay. But I had a good idea where my water line was. He never did hit the water line, by the way. All right. So anyway, it amazes me, all the experts out there that know everything, and they're going to talk out of their behinds when they don't know what they're talking about and they don't have all the information. Okay. So secondly, let me just say this. Bill had no idea that there was a propane line in there where he was digging. That one, my friends, is 100% 100% on me. And I'll be honest with you, I was so focused on making sure that he didn't hit the water line and watching that whole process, I didn't even think about the propane line. So again, the fault of that is 100% on me, not on them at all, because they're just doing what I'm asking them to do. So again, that was my screw up, and I own that 100%. Okay, I'm glad nobody got hurt. I'm glad the propane tank didn't blow up, that there wasn't a spark and all that type of stuff. We got lucky. That's the bottom line. We got lucky. Okay, mistakes happen. We are human beings like everybody else. We have brain farts. We don't think of things, that type of stuff. Now, should I, should I have had that marked out so I know exactly where that propane line was? In hindsight, yes, absolutely, I should have. So once again, the fault of that falls completely on me. I'm going to tell you what kind of character Bill has. Now, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time over the last 5 or 6 years that we've got things going here at the homestead, the only person that I've had do bulldozing work or any of that type of trenching or any of that type of stuff is Bill. I would not have anybody else on my property doing that work. He is professional. He is courteous. He is on time. He does a fantastic job. I'm going to tell you what kind of character Bill has. He said to me, and I'm even going to tell you because I mentioned it in the other video, for the propane company to come out, which they did that exact day, run into the line, which they did, okay, it cost me $360. That's what it cost me. So it wasn't cheap. It was an expensive mistake, okay? Now, this is the type of person Bill is. He says, well, Ed, listen, he says, you can deduct that off of, my bill at the end. And I said, absolutely not. I go, it was my fault. I'm the one that didn't tell you where it was. You're just doing what I asked you to do. So that one I have to eat, because that's realistically, is that not true? It was my screw up, not theirs. Okay. But he was still willing, even though it was my fault, to pay for it. I said, no way. So I'm just putting that out there for all you judgmental people that have made negative comments about what happened and how stupid we were, and call 1-800-DIG and all that. Calling 1-800-DIG, they would have been like, you have an empty lot. There's nothing there. Okay? Because I'm way out in the country. There was no infrastructure in this property when we got here. Now, I will tell you what, that particular day, I said to him, because, okay, so he caught that one, right? Caught the propane line, and then he caught the line, which we thought was the water line. But it ended up not being the water line. It ended up actually being the line for the cord that has the pump, the well pump in it. Okay, so he had caught both of those. We thought he had hit the water line, which we were mistaken. He did not hit the water line. We found out when they cut it to fix it, and they cut the wire. So they had to repair that. But again, that happens. So me being me, I said, hey, Bill, I said, you want to come over here by the greenhouse and dig up there and dig up my power lines for the house too? I said, you already got these other two, might as well, right? I'm going to make a joke out of it, because is it frustrating? Absolutely 100% frustrating, okay? But again, it happens. Things happen. So me getting mad, because like somebody said, well, it was a good thing you can joke about it. Me getting mad changes nothing. It doesn't change anything. It's a mistake. It happens. And again, it's on me. So why am I going to get all pissed off and stomp around and have a temper tantrum? It solves nothing. You deal with it, you take care of it, and you move on. Okay, so I needed to say that in this live stream and vent on that, just so you know. Hey, John Christopher, I learned to photo and measure copy the data on my septic tank's location. Gets dug up every 6 years by me. There you go. And you know what? Again, hindsight is always 20/20. Thank you very much for the donation, and thank you very much for the statement. I appreciate that as well. We all make mistakes, guys. Again, I could have very easily not put that video up and done a different video, and you never would have been the wiser. But I really always believe that it's important to share everything that happens, positive and negative. So there we are. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, getting mad is a waste of time and energy. Absolutely. Ed's lucky he has no wife. It's the wife's job to get mad when hubby errs. Yeah, right. Oh my. But again, like I said, you know what, it's just, you just go, oh well, and you take care of it, and you move on, and you go, okay, well, we're not going to make that mistake again. That's the reality. Okay, so you're going to be seeing probably a lot of videos. Obviously, over the next several days, I've done a lot of videos of what exactly we've been doing here with this job. Okay, I think it's kind of cool to watch it and see how they're putting everything together. So that's why I wanted to share it all with you. And so it may be boring for some people over the next couple of days. That's fine. But like I said, it's not always political stuff I'm going to do. It's not just prepping stuff I'm going to do. And to me, getting the gray water system in is actually prepping. Now, there was another comment that I just wanted to address really, really quickly. Well, that's why, this guy was like, you've done nothing to code. Nothing is done to code. You never got permits and blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, I did. So this whole job was permitted, written up, done up by the county. So this is being done according to what the county wanted done. Just so you know, again, you know what? Have your judgments, say what you're going to say. I don't care. I don't care because it doesn't, you know what? It's interesting. But I mean, and I realize, guys, listen, like my buddy today wrote me and he goes, Ed, what's the matter? You can't keep 89,000 people happy. You're never going to keep everybody happy. But when people were attacking Bill about this situation, that I did not like, okay, because it was not his fault. Because somebody had made a comment of, oh, I would have kicked those people off my property right then and there. Well, then you're a moron. That's all. That person that made that comment. Again, if you don't have all the information, wait till you have the information. Now, the people that said, call up 1-800-DIG, I get it. If you live in suburbia and you're going to be doing some digging, and if you live in the city and you're going to be doing some digging, absolutely you should be doing that. I live in the middle of the country, in the middle of nowhere. We don't have any underground anything out here. Okay, so that's just, that's the reality of that. But again, this one was on me. I had to eat it. And it actually worked out good because I wanted to disconnect the shut off in a propane that's in the middle of the greenhouse now. Now that's all gone. So that's all out of there. So that actually, it worked out for the best. So, just wanted to share that first because I was like so irritated, just so you know. Okay. Guys, I see we got 900 people in the chat already. We're at 277 on the thumbs up. I would ask you to please shoot a thumbs up to show support for the channel. And again, I appreciate you guys doing that. Again, it really does help with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, it really does help boost the channel. So I appreciate it for that reason as well. And thank you for that reason as well. And of course, the third reason is I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So being honest. So thank you for all three of those reasons. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. Okay. So thank you for them. So anyway, all right, let's get into Rudy Giuliani. All right. Obviously, Rudy Giuliani is the President Trump's personal lawyer. Hey, Asif, I had one resident when I was in med school that was a total, hold on a second, was a royal BS or SIS blank B. I learned not to behave as a doctor as much as how I learned from my best attendings. You know what? And that's awesome. And I appreciate you saying that. And again, your character is your character, and it will always shine through, and it's going to show no matter what in life. Okay. Thank you very much for the statement, and thank you very much for the donation as well. Okay. So anyway, again, let's see. Nina Angelina says, Ed, you handled an entire situation with class. We all make mistakes. Thank you for showing this so others can learn. Well, and again, thank you very much for saying that. I do appreciate that. But I believe in being honest and sharing that information and stuff like that. So, anyway, so, all right. So, obviously, Rudy Giuliani is the president's personal lawyer. And they're investigating, obviously, if there's improprieties in the election. They did a press conference today. Now, regardless of who the president is, who the president's opponent was, let's just talk about one topic, not on left or right side to begin with. Let's talk about this. And tell me that you don't see an issue with this. Michigan's votes, and I believe it was Michigan. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Were voted or counted overseas in Germany and Spain. So that's number one. That's an issue for me. Any votes being counted in this country need to be counted in this country, not in overseas. By a company, now this is coming from Rudy Giuliani, by a company from Venezuela that has ties to Maduro, Chavez, okay? Oh, yeah, and part of the background of that, an investor in that, of course, is George Soros. You don't see an issue with that. You don't see that there could possibly be some kind of a problem. And let's just remember, too, George Soros is the largest contributor to the Democratic Party. He is the largest contributor to Antifa. He is the largest contributor to the BLM. Okay? So let's keep those things in mind. Now, tell me that that is not an issue. Tell me that that's not something that we need to be paying attention to, okay? That's just one example of something. Now, they're talking about, he explained how the voting fraud could be done with the ballots. When you had, there's supposed to be a Democratic and a Republican person watching these people count the votes. And in certain places, the Republican ones were not allowed. That's an issue. Okay, if you want a fair and free election, that is an issue. Okay. Now, they recounted all the votes in Georgia. If you guys saw that, and they were saying, "Oh, nothing has changed." Well, Giuliani explained it very, very well. He says, once you take that vote cast out of the envelope, and then you put it over here, and you throw the rest of this away, it's still going to be counted as a vote. But you don't know where that came from. You're not matching signatures and all those type of things. Again, that makes sense. That's very clear. Now, what I also find bizarrely amazing, that and all people are not questioning this. As we have known, the media is completely biased for the entire term of this president's run. For the entire term, they've done nothing but try to drag him down from day one. So why are they so, I guess the right word is hell-bent on, oh, no, he needs to concede, it's over, he lost, blah, blah, blah. Why wouldn't every American watching this stream, every American around the country, why would they not want to make sure that there was no fraudulent activity? Why are they so amped up to, oh, just go away, Trump, just go away and give up, okay? Why would that be the case? Because they don't want him back in there. And if there was fraudulent activity done, once he concedes and they certify these states, then it's done, and there's nothing he can do about it. But and in my opinion, and again, you don't have to be a Trump fan or anything like that. I want to make sure that this was fair and that it was done right. Because again, if you remember, and it's like, and they're like, oh, well, all these mail-in ballots, they were primarily for Biden. I mean, let's look at it right? Primarily for Biden. It just doesn't make any sense. It's not adding up. You don't have, and I'm going to tell you what, you do not have a 700,000 lead in Pennsylvania when they stop counting the votes, and then the next morning, magically, Biden catches all the way up. So every single person that voted by mail, and I've heard the argument of, well, Trump was telling people not to vote by mail. Well, just because somebody tells you to do something doesn't mean you do it. If I'm old and I'm in home and I'm afraid to go out because of COVID, I'm going to vote by mail, right? So again, you can't for certain say all these people that voted by mail voted for Biden. You can't say it. So again, is there too much of a chance for fraud with mail-in ballots? It has been talked about for years and years and years, and it has been proven to be the case. So again, I would like to make sure that things are fair and that they're done right. Now let's do a scenario. Let's do a scenario, and let's see how this would play out. If it was proven, hey, Asif, some counties in Michigan had votes tallying 350% of the registered voters had must had Civil War veterans voting in the election. Yeah, and again, if they can prove that, if that's a factual fact, that needs to be brought out. Absolutely needs to be brought out. Thank you very much for the donation and in that as well. I appreciate that. Thank you for the statement. Here's something to think about as well, guys. Okay. Like I said, when we all went to bed, and I went to bed at 2 in the morning that night on election night because I was watching everything. Trump was way ahead, especially Pennsylvania. Obviously, 700,000 votes in Pennsylvania, he was ahead, and all these other states, he was ahead. And then you wake up the next morning at 9 o'clock, and then magically Biden catches up. I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it. Okay, too much chance for fraud, too many, uh, too many things. Being corrupted. And that's just my opinion. Okay. I'm giving you my opinion. But let's do a scenario real quick, like I was just talking about. Let's say it's proven that there was fraud. They overthrow this, they give the election to Trump, and now Trump is the president once again. You know how many people would absolutely lose their minds? They would be in the streets protesting, burning stuff down, absolutely going bananas. They would go bananas. And they already know that. They already know that. And here's again, I think about this, okay? We're going to talk about the media a little bit. Again, very, very biased. You look at what the media is saying now. Oh, there's no proof of any kind of fraud. Trump lawsuits are being thrown out left, right, and center. We're going to address that in a second. Spike Spiegel, if Trump wins, you better be ready to bug out if you live near. Oh, hold on a second. If you live near a city, stock up now while you can and keep your ear to the ground. Stand strong. I agree with you 100%. If you're in a city and Trump is declared the winner, boy, you better be ready because they're going to lose their minds. Absolutely. Thank you very much for the donation, and thank you very much for that statement as well. Again, with the whole thing with lost my train of thought. Can somebody tell me what I was just saying before that? I'm sorry, guys. Oh, I know what I was talking about. I was talking about they were talking about the lawyers quitting and all these lawsuits being thrown out. All these Trump lawsuits being thrown out. Giuliani said today they got 3 lawsuits. They had 4, but 2 were in one state, and so none of those lawsuits. The one they dropped because the other one, it was like a double thing. So they're going to address it with the other part of the lawsuit. Okay. So the media is saying that all these lawsuits have been thrown out and stuff like that. A lot of them were other people doing lawsuits that were being thrown out. Now, if you have biased judges that are for one side and they get that in front of them, of course they're going to throw that out, number one, right? But when you have, these with the information that they have, and they're doing that. Now, here, Giuliani addressed this as well today. They've had 2 lawyers quit the team, right? Leave the team. And this is what Giuliani said. And this makes a lot of sense to me. A lot of sense. Giuliani said the reason that they left the team is because they were receiving death threats and threats to their families, harm to their families. Geez, does that not sound like the lunatic fringe left that would do that type of stuff? Of course it does. Look at what they've done to people out in public. So again, and don't get me wrong, does the lunatic right also make threats and threaten to hurt people? And of course they do. So it's not, I don't want you to think that I'm just picking on the left and not talking about the right at the same time, but we're talking about this situation. That's what we're talking about. So again, craziness. The whole thing is just absolutely crazy. So this is an OSA planned event to divide. Little Wolf just said that. And I don't disagree with that. They wanted to divide the country. Again, many reasons why. Many reasons why. If we can keep us all fighting against each other, okay? I want you to think about this. I'm going to talk about this really, really quickly because everybody is like, let's see. I think 60% of America is still white. I think that is the case. I think it's 60% is still white at this point. Now, we have a lot of people obviously coming up through South America. So our Spanish community is getting much, much bigger and growing faster than any other segment in America. Okay. But what is always the focus on, especially with the news media? They don't always talk so much about the Spanish folks. They talk about black folks a lot, right? They want to stir that hatred up. They want to stir up that hatred of black folks. It's always white people's fault. Well, you know what? Like I said, and I've said this before, and I'll say it a million times. I've done nothing to anybody. I've never owned anybody. Nobody alive There's still slave trading going on in the world. Don't get me wrong. And people are held as slaves probably in this country, just like in other countries. Okay. But legally slave trading, it's not happening anymore. Nobody alive this black has been a slave. So again, excuses are made. Work hard. Put your nose to the grindstone. Any of you can accomplish anything you want, regardless of what color you are. You look at the Pakistani folks that come over here from Pakistan. If you look in like the 7-Elevens and stuff like that, that's like the big joke, right? It's all Pakistani, Arab, all that type of stuff. But those are the people, guys, that are willing to come over here and work 16 hours a day and work their butts off to get ahead. Okay, the average American won't do it. They just won't do it. Hey, Pamela Sherry. United we stand, divided we fall. God we trust, liberty, not tyranny. These are the things they attack the fabric of our society. Absolutely. Thank you very much for the statement, and thank you very much for the donation as well. If they can keep us fighting each other over stupid, petty nonsense, we will never focus on what the real problem is. And that's the absolute goal. The absolute goal. If they can, again, race, religion, those are two huge hotbeds. Always have been, always will be. Okay, so all these people that come over, Middle Eastern descent, Pakistani. How come? Let's think about this a second, guys. I want you to think about this. We have a lot of people in the United States that are from India, right? There's probably a pretty good Indian population, meaning from India, here in the United States. Do you ever hear anything about, oh my God, those horrible Hindus and their religion, and they're trying to control everything? You ever hear about that? You don't. You know why? Because there's no boogeyman there. We can't have a boogeyman there. But oh my God, if somebody's Muslim, oh, they're all bad. They all want to take over. They want to kill us all and all this nonsense. Okay, just live your life. If you don't want to be Muslim, don't be Muslim. If you don't want to be Christian, don't be Christian. If you don't want to be Hindu or Buddhist or whatever other, then don't do it. Do whatever gives you peace of mind. But respect other people. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing that's lacking, that respect and camaraderie and brotherhood and watching out for each other. It's all gone. The brainwashed leftist buyer's remorse will be epic when they finally discover that they voted themselves into slavery. Oh, of course it will be. Of course it will be. So, again, let's be smarter than them. Let's not let them play us. It is ridiculous that we continuously let them play us over and over in the manipulation. Should every American want a free election in an unbiased election? How about some unbiased newscasting? That would be fantastic. I would appreciate that. Why isn't the news, the media, saying, well, you know what? Instead of saying, oh, there's no basis, there's no merit to this, it's all, he's doing this just because he wants to stay in power. What if that's not the case? What if the case is actually that there is voter fraud? They know there's voter fraud, and they want to sweep it under the rug because anybody but Trump, okay? Think about it, think about that. So, not letting them take over our Thanksgiving or Christmas. I do not blame you. I do not blame you at all. Like I said, it's gotten to be ridiculous. Hey, nose picking. I just posted 2 oh crap videos. Watch and see. The moratorium does. Landlord's boy in jail. Girl is dying from drug injections. Again, a lot of issues with that. Nose picking again. No rent. $1,000 property damage. 32 degrees outside. Door open. Lights on. Nobody home. Let's take a look. Okay, well, definitely we'll have to check that out. Hey, Donna Smith. Hey, Ed, you said that President Trump is declared the winner if the left is going to go crazy. I believe if Biden is declared, patriots will rise up. If voter corruption is allowed, we won't stand for it. Thank you very much for the statement, and thank you for the donation as well. And Nose Picking, thank you for your donations as well. I don't believe you'll see patriots rising up unless there's absolute 100% proof that fraud has been committed in the election. Other than that, they won't, and that's in my opinion, okay? But I think enough people are sick and tired of the political nonsense that something may jump off from this. That I will say. Hey, SC Prepper, Do you think the vaccine will poison people? Thank you very much for the question, and thank you very much for the donation. I saw what they were. I don't know if you guys have seen the videos. They're talking about the different stuff that is in this vaccine. Um, when you have aborted 14-week-old male lung tissue, why do you need that in a vaccine? Okay, that doesn't. I don't get why that needs to be in a vaccine. The different things that they were talking about, if you look it up, the different things in the vaccine, it's no. My opinion is you definitely do not want to get it. I think that it's definitely, they're talking about that it possibly could be you're injecting other kinds of DNA into your system. I don't want that. Absolutely not. So yes, I think that it can make you sick if you get it. Possibly, I'm not saying 100%, but possibly it could. It could change. Could it change your DNA? I don't know, but that's some scary stuff, and I'm not looking to do that. RC Kev, Trump's legal team are no dummies. That's for sure. Oh, absolutely not. Oh no, it was watching them. It was very, very interesting. And I'm going to tell you what, they have an ace up their sleeve, guys. I'm telling you right now, they got an ace up their sleeves. I'm not giving out all the information because you don't always show your full hand. Okay. Hey, Jane Donnelly. Our country is more diverse than it is portrayed. We are individual thinkers. We can determine our future. You know what? And I agree with that statement. We have a lot of intelligent people out here that are not going to allow ourselves to be manipulated and played. And no matter, you got to understand too. Thank you very much for the donation, and thank you very much for the statement as well. Uh, with the bias that is in the media, it is because somebody owns that company that has a certain agenda that they are pushing out there. I think it's 8 families own all the networks, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken, please correct me on that. But I believe it's 8 families own all the networks, which means they have complete and total control of what information is put out there to you. So that's dangerous. To me, that's very, very dangerous. A lot of the stuff going on, again, it's Nazi Germany all over again. If you look at it realistically, it is definitely Nazi Germany all over again. Okay, I don't trust the vaccine. I don't believe it. Oh, it's 90% effective and all this type of stuff. Whistleblowers are coming out saying that that is not true. And here's the interesting thing: whenever somebody comes out as a whistleblower, and just like with the election fraud, okay, with the different affidavits that they have from people that witnessed election fraud, why would these people lie? A whole different segment of people all over saying that there was improprieties. What is their agenda? What do they have to gain? Do they just want the truth to be put out there? I think that's more of the case. I don't think it's sour grapes or anything like that. Again, could it be? Sure. You're always going to have disgruntled people. You're always going to have people that are going to be unhappy with whatever the way the situation goes out. This election, what the guarantee was, people were going to be unhappy with the outcome no matter what. That's the reality of this election. Hey, Asif, if Rudy pulls this off, he will win a royal flush. Yeah, no kidding. Again, I think they have more information than they are letting us onto at the moment, and they will show their hand in due time. But again, when you have lawyers and these people, getting death threats for them and their family and their children, I could understand why some of them would say, I'm out of this. I'm not doing it. Guys, we got 1.1 in the chat. We're at 549 on the thumbs up. I'm going to ask again. If you have not shot a thumbs up to show support for the channel, I would appreciate if you would do that. And thank you ahead of time. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we get, positive or negative, it definitely helps with that as well. So thank you for doing that. And if you feel like you need to put a thumbs down, knock yourself out. It's still interaction. But I would rather see more thumbs up. Also, again, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So that's the third reason. So thank you for all 3 of those reasons for doing it. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Hey, Don D. What's up, brother? My wife works at Kaiser. She is taking December vacation. They will be made to get the vax. She will be quitting when it comes down. I don't blame her at all. Again, I'm sure across the board, thank you for that statement and thank you for that information. I'm sure across the board in the healthcare field, they will force nurses, CNAs, and people that work in hospitals to get that vaccine. I guarantee they will, because of course it'll be for everybody else's safety. Hey, Hunter Davis. Hey, Ed. My best buddy's father-in-law does. Hold on a second. Does COVID-19 vaccine test for Johnson and Johnson. He said no way he's getting it. Okay, well there you go. Thank you very much for that information as well, and thank you very much for the donation as well. I do appreciate that. So yeah, a lot of scary stuff, guys. A lot of scary stuff. I don't have any faith, zero, in the pharmaceutical companies. None. Because they lie. When you have, them paying out billions and billions of dollars in lawsuits for doing irreparable harm to people. You look at, okay, let's go PG&E out in California, all the harm they did to people, and they ended up having a huge lawsuit. Okay. These companies, these big businesses think that they can get away with everything forever with no repercussions. That's a problem. When the American people stand up, though, and say enough is enough, then they're going to wake up one day. They will wake up one day. I promise you that. What we're going to do really quickly, we'll do the egg count really quickly. Now, we've got to remember, we had turmoil here again today because they're doing more work at the homestead, with the bulldozing work and the backhoe and all that type of stuff. So, what do you guys think the egg count is today? Give you guys a minute to get your guesses out here. All right, if you had the same guess, is Brianna B with 3 eggs. We did end up with 3 eggs today, so I was actually very pleasantly surprised that we ended up with 3 eggs. So they're starting to come back a little bit now. Some of the birds are still molting, regrowing feathers, but it's coming together. They're good. They're good. They're good babies. So, hold on a second. I want to see what that person said here real quick. With or without a license, if you have a nursing license, you will be forced to take the virus. You, Matt, aka DDP, and me. You know what? Like I said, I'll give my license up if that's the case. I'm not getting any vaccination. I'm actually not working for any company, so they can't force me to get a vaccination. They can't. So, I am retired, so I am not going to be doing that. No way, no how. But I can see them doing that in the facilities. I can see them doing that to every one of those poor old folks in those facilities. Oh, yep, you have to get a shot. You got to get it. It's for your own safety. And who knows, realistically, is it going to be 90% effective? I doubt it highly. I highly doubt that. When you have a flu vaccine that is done by these same different companies, and the flu vaccine is only 10% effective, now all of a sudden they're going to come out with something that is going to be 90% effective. And again, this virus mutates. It's not staying the same. So again, I have an issue with it. Like I said, I have no intention of getting any kind of vaccination, period. So be it flu shot, COVID vaccine, none of it. So yeah, no. I don't know if I shared this with you guys or not. Now here's something I have a huge issue with, and I'm going to call out RIT. That's the school my daughter goes to college at. They're saying before they come back for the next semester that they have to have a flu shot. Now, if you are teaching these kids virtually online, which is what they're doing, still charging the same amount of money if they were going on campus and having classes on campus, why do they have to have a flu shot? If they're home, why do they have to have a flu shot? I have an ip with that. I have a huge issue with that. And I will be addressing that with the school at the appropriate time. But yeah, that's nope. So again, a lot of things going on, a lot of things that the manipulation is unbelievable. For our kids, that's if you think about it, the manipulation of our children is the biggest factor with a lot of this. They want our kids to think totally different than we do. They don't want our kids to be open-minded in any way, and they want their kids to think that they're open-minded. Okay, so there's a lot of issues, So, but yeah, control exactly. Jamie Masterson just said it's a control. You're absolutely right. I agree with you 100%. It's all about control. It's all about manipulating these kids into thinking this is what you have to do. You have to listen to the government. The government knows best. They got your best interest at heart when they, oh, excuse me, when they never will have your best interest at heart, ever. So, yep, control the kids, brainwash the next generation. Prepping 101 just said that exactly. So, anyway, guys, really quickly, I want to recommend 2 channels out there. Obviously, I was just on the Angry Preppers channel. Did an interview with him the other day, actually Monday. Definitely go over. Please show him some support, and thank you for doing that ahead of time. Also, Marfugal News out on the West Coast. Go show him some love, show him some support, and obviously tell both of them that Prepper Nurse 1 sent you over. 2 good channels. Definitely need to be support. We need to have that community working together aspect in YouTube as well. And I think that's important. Really quickly, I want to talk about my website, preppernurse1.com. We have on my website, we have the Prepper Nurse 1 community, which is a network for people to go in, connect with like-minded people. A lot of messages on the message boards. Definitely check out that information. People are putting stuff up all the time on there. Also, you do have to register, but it is totally free. It does not cost anything. No credit card information is asked. But definitely go over there and do that. If you're looking to find someone, like-minded people in your state or in your country, that resource is there for you. Also on my website, we have jdega.com, which is the CBD and hemp store. And again, it's a good resource there for you guys. The link will be below here, and also down in the description. The link will be down there. And then also on my website, preppernurse1.com, if you go there, if you click on jdega.com as it goes by, it will take you to their website. If you decide to make a CBD or hemp purchase when you are there, make sure when you check out, you use the discount code PrepperNurse1, and that's the number 1, not ONE, and you will save 15% on your purchase over there, okay? Also, we have the Legacy freeze-dried food on my website, and so definitely take advantage of that as well, all right? So that is that. I just wanted to share that with you. Hey, Red Wolves 2015. Hey, at IT school, I have been telling my students we need to start coming and working together. I tell my kids to never give up. Take every day, one day at a time, like a grain of salt. Exactly. And you should probably tell them to question everything. Thank you very much for the donation. Yes, but make sure you tell those kids, question everything. Think for yourselves. Don't let other people think for you. And I think that's really, really important. Praying for all the college kids. I don't like what I'm envisioning. College kids plus vaccine equals control. I agree. Happy Elf is asking, are you still going live tomorrow night? No. That's why I did my streams Tuesday and Thursday of this week, because I'm not going to be able to live stream tomorrow night. I have plans. So that's why I changed the days just for this week. I will be back live streaming on Sunday, though, back to normal time. And then next week will be back to normal Wednesdays and Fridays. But I just had plans for Friday, so I will not be live streaming. So that is why I did it tonight. So I want to make sure we got 2 shows in for you guys this week. So that's why I ended up doing Tuesday and Thursday. Hey, Mike Puckett. During Desert Storm, they marched us into a tent, gave us the anthrax vaccine, then marched us into a second tent to sign a form giving permission to get the shot. The government will trick you. Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, again, and I talked about this before, when you are in the military, when you sign up for the military, you are giving up your rights for everything. You become government property for 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, however long you are in the military. You are government property, and they can basically do whatever they want to do with you. So, hey, nose picking, thanks for caring. Well, you're welcome, and thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that as well. We need to care. We need to be thinking about I'm telling you right now, guys, the future's not people like me. I'm 55 years old. I'm on a downhill slide. If I get another 30, maybe 40 years, if I'm lucky, that's it. It might not be that long. Okay. But the younger generation, that is the future. They are the future. So, those are the ones that are going to be the ones making the decisions 20 years from now for us. So think about that. Okay. Starfire, looks like you lost weight. I have. So thank you very much for noticing that. I definitely am down, which I'm happy about. How's the puppy doing? She is right here under my chair. She does not go too far from me. She stays pretty tight. She's interacting with the other dogs great. They're getting along. There's no fighting. She's very playful and she wants to play with the cats. And some of the cats are not having it. So, hey, Jane Delaney. In these uncertain times, we need to appreciate every experience, every day that we live. And that's very true. Again, every day is a gift. Every day is, life is so precious, and I think a lot of people do lose sight of that. And every day that we have, it's a blessing. Being, especially if you're healthy. If you have your health, you have everything. And a lot of people don't realize how important that is. But it really, really is. If you have your health, you do have everything. And it is it's such a blessing to be able to get out, go where you want to go, do what you want to do. We're very, very fortunate, and a lot of people don't realize how fortunate we truly are. But again, there is definitely an agenda in play that wants to control every aspect of our lives, and I'm not down for that. I want to be as free as I possibly can be. You can do whatever you want to do, as long as you're not hurting me or mine. If you try to hurt me or mine, then it's on. That's the bottom line. My family, my children, my mom, my sister, that's what it's all about. And then the people in my group. I'm going to tell you, and I've talked about this before, I am a loyalty guy. Always been a loyalty guy. If I got your back, if you are 100% in the wrong, I'm still going to have your back. Doesn't matter to me. You're my friend. You're the one that I'm going to have their back. The people in my group, they know too. I don't play games. I'm not a game player. I've never been a game player. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be straight up. And that's just the way I roll. That's, it doesn't change. Not for me, it doesn't. So, really quickly, guys, what do we got? 1.1 in the chat. We're at 758 on the thumbs up. I'm going to ask again. I'd like to see it get up well over 1,000 tonight. As far as thumbs up, if we can do that, that would be cool. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you for doing it for that reason. I really do appreciate that. Again, with the algorithms, it really does help with more interaction that we have, and the thumbs up or commenting even as well does it as well. But thank you for that. That really does help with the interaction on the channel, and it boosts us up in the ratings with YouTube and the algorithms, primarily the algorithms. So, and of course, I like to see a lot of thumbs up, so I'm not going to lie. That's another motivation, because it's a game to see how high we can get, and I like doing that. So, also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well, and thank you for doing that as well. Google and read Archbishop Carlo Mavara Vargo's October letter to Trump about the New World Order. You'll understand everything that's been happening in 2020. All right, I will look that up. Thank you for that information. What do we got here? Check out the Great Reset Canada's Trudeau is talking about. Great Reset motto is to build back better, consistency, same as Biden's. Yeah, there's definitely, like I said, there's definitely an agenda at hand, and it's not for your best interest. It's for what they want. And again, what they want is total and complete control. And I don't understand how people cannot see that, with all the different laws that they pass all the time. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And people just go, yeah, okay, whatever, that's fine. As they take away and they strip more and more of our rights away. I'll tell you what, the biggest fraud perpetuated, in my opinion, on this country was 9/11. That's the biggest fraud. The Patriot Act was written ahead of time. I want you to think about that, folks. The Patriot Act was written before 9/11 ever happened. And then when supposed terrorists attacked us, and of all the ones, I think 10 of them or more were Saudis, supposedly, who we are an ally of, by the way, Saudi Arabia. Um, and then, all of a sudden this Patriot Act comes out, which basically lets them do whatever they want to do. It lets them do whatever they want to do. They can spy on you. It's fine. It's not an issue. And we cheered and said, yes, take away our rights. I saw it back then. I knew we were being played. I'm going to tell you what. I am a flag flying American. You guys know that. I always have my American flag out. When everybody, and I'll never forget, everybody on my street went out and they had flags and everybody was flying flags, I took mine down. Because I knew we were being played. I knew it. When they announced the day before talking about missing $2.1 trillion, or on the I think, was it the day before, or was it the Friday? They were talking about the missing $2.1 trillion that was missing. And then lo and behold, we have 9/11 happen, and nobody talked about that 2.1 trillion. 2.1 trillion. Think about that. Gone. We don't talk about it. It's never, Patriot Act allows the government to track your money if it's in a bank. Yeah, and it does a whole lot of other things too. They can spy on you if they think that you might be a threat to the United States. It's really broad based, and it's not good. It is not good, and it's not for your advantage. It is for their advantage, so they can spy on us, so they can listen into our conversations on our phones, all that type of stuff, all of it. So, I never killed the volume on this. Good thing nobody called. But again, yeah, we got played bad, and I could see it then. And what happened after that? I want you to think about this, okay? Then we went to war. Wow, imagine that. We go to war, and then we're at war forever and a day, and we're still technically at war, both in Iraq and Afghanistan. So we still have troops there. Now, our troops are a lot less than they used to be in both places, but we're still there. And it's about control. Control that region, control the resources of that region, put in a government in those regions that are going to do what we want them to do. Control, control, control. All about control. And, but then, of course, China is so evil. Oh, my God, horrible, evil China. Come on. Actually, horrible, evil the United States, to be honest with you. We do stuff, guys, that people have no idea. No idea. Scary. Buffered for a minute? Yeah, I probably said something they didn't want us to say. Breaking news, FBI agents just arrested FBI agent for bribing 48,000 voters. Democrats, breaking news, huge breaking in Cincinnati. Okay, well, I'll have to look and see if that's legit or not. Yeah, what's up with China and Biden before the election? Yeah, that's an interesting question as well. Yep. I'm going to tell you what, it is amazing. The continued manipulation that happens constantly, and we just fall for it. Can the American people honestly be that stupid? That's what I would ask. Can they be that stupid? And a lot of them folks can be. They believe everything that they're told, as long as it's on TV. These people wouldn't lie to us. They wouldn't tell us something that's not the truth. And people just go, yeah, okay, whatever. I'll give you an example of something. And he's probably going to get pissed off at me because I said this, but good friend of mine, totally different political views. And, we have been discussing this whole situation. And he basically just said, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Because I said, well, don't you want to see if there's fraud, if there's malfeasance? Don't you want to see that investigated and checked out? He just wants Trump gone. That's all he wants. He just wants Trump gone, and he don't care. And again, so he's basically at this point like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. So we're not. Okay. I value my friendship with him more than anything else. But again, that is the mindset of a lot of people. Well, I got what I wanted, so now I don't want to talk about it. So think about that too. Just be aware of that. She just went out this way, so I don't know where she's headed to. But yeah, it's amazing. It is amazing. But so stimulus was set out to dead people. Oh yeah, and whatever happened to that? Do you hear Congress or the Senate talking about where's that second stimulus? Are they helping the American people again? We talked about that. I did a stream about that. Absolutely not helping people at all. So yeah. So anyway, a lot of us saw this coming a long time ago, but no one would listen. You're right. Oh, Charmaine Park. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. Again, what I would strongly encourage all of you to do is prep, 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 and then prep some more. Again, stuff is going off the shelves again. I posted some pictures on Instagram and Twitter. Oh yeah, I'm on Instagram and Twitter as well, Prepper Nurse One. So definitely check me out at both of those places as well, and follow me over on them as well. If you would, that would be great, and thank you for doing that as well. But again, it is. I posted pictures on both of them with the shelves being empty in the store, and it's happening again. And so people need to be aware of what's going on. Be as ready as you can be. Take this opportunity and look at it as an opportunity. You're buying time. That's all that's happening right now. We're buying time. Anytime we get is a bonus. So like with me getting in this gray water system that's happening right now, okay, if SHTF happens 2 days after my gray water system's completely in, well, at least my gray water system got put in, okay, which is going to run completely off of my off-grid system. So hopefully it will still work, But it's just it's crazy. Oh, hold on a second. As bad as it sounds, Trump needs to declare martial law since the virus is spiking again. Now, and there's something that I have a problem with, and I understand what you're saying, JJ, but that's not generally the answer. That they would use that and say that that's why he's doing it to stay in power. That opens up a whole new can of worms, a whole new can of worms. All of a sudden, the numbers are spiking again, and I don't know if you saw in the news media. Of course, they're saying, well, Trump needs to be working with Biden so Biden's team can get in there and save the day, right? Biden's going to save the day now. Yeah, okay. I'm going to hold my breath on that one. But, it's, are they really spiking? Are they really COVID cases? Again, I have my doubts. I'll just put it like that. I have my reservations of what is really going on. I see it as a manipulation. If we can scare people enough, now think about this, if we can scare people enough, oh my God, this thing is going crazy. We better go get this vaccine when the vaccine comes out. Manipulation. COVID numbers are spiking here in upstate schools, and Asif is in South Carolina. So thank you for that information, Asif. I appreciate that. Again, I think we're being played with. I think we're being manipulated. That's my opinion. I'm just giving you my opinion. You guys can think whatever you want to think. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong if you think something different. I'm just giving you the way I look at it. None of it makes sense. So all of a sudden, it was down. People started getting together, doing what they were doing over the summer. Now we're back into the winter months. They're not talking about the flu. Everything is COVID, COVID, COVID. The flu didn't just magically disappear because now we have COVID. So again, hey Jane Delaney, do you think we are on the brink of revolution in the very near future? I think that it depends. Thank you for that question, and thank you for the donation. I do appreciate that. I think it depends on what happens with this election. I think that's a big part of it. And I think that you are seeing people getting to a point where they've had enough. And if they get to that point, then you will see revolution in this country. That's the way I believe. But again, depending on how this election whole thing plays out, once again, and I've said this before and I'm going to say it again, let's let things run its course. Let's see what the lawyers are bringing up. And if they can prove fraud in the election, then it needs to be addressed, and we need to move forward from there. Okay, but like I said, San Francisco just outlawed natural gas in new buildings. Wow. Wow. Yeah, again, control, control, control. So, you know, we're in trouble. We're in big trouble. People they're swimming along, everything's fine and it's okay because it doesn't affect me, right? It will. It absolutely will. But yeah, martial law is never a good thing, guys. Martial law basically suspends the Constitution. And when they enact martial law, they can do whatever they want to do, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, you can be locked up for any amount of time with no charges being pressed, no due process. That's scary if you think about it. That's really, really frightening. So that's something to be paying attention to. Really pay attention to that because it's like that is something that can definitely affect things. Hey, nose picking. What do you do when one of your tribe gets totally pissed off with you for not listening or understanding them? Well, what I would do, and this is just my opinion, if I like my group, if somebody's pissed off and very frustrated, I'm going to sit down with them one on one and let's have a discussion. You tell, this is the best way, in my opinion, you have a discussion. You say, get a clock, some kind of timer. You have 5 minutes uninterrupted, whatever number you want to put on it. 5 minutes uninterrupted. I won't say a word. You can say your piece. But then I get the same amount of time to come back and talk to you. That would be the best way because otherwise you're going to have people hollering over the top of each other. You need to sit down with people, let them say their piece. And if you can prove to them and say, okay, well, let's look at it from this point of view. And, make people think, give them options. I think that's important, really important. Okay. But I think everybody's opinion should be heard. Even if you don't agree with it, you don't always have to agree with it. None of us are ever going to agree on everything. But if you can find that common ground and have an open discussion like that, like I said, even if it's one-on-one, you don't have to have a crowd. You don't have to have the whole bunch of people over everybody shouting over each other. Sit down, be open-minded, So that's just my opinion on that. So just so you're aware. Guys, again, we're 1.1 in the chat. We're at 895 on the thumbs up. We got to hit 1,000 now. We're so close. We got about 20 minutes left in the stream. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet at this point, I would ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing it for that reason. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction we get, the algorithms see that, they pick it up. Like in comments, it's great, a lot of comments. Thumbs up, they look at that as interaction. It pushes you higher in the rankings. So thank you for all those reasons as well. And of course, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. That's the other reason. So thank you as well. People are being advised not to travel for the holidays and go to your room with no dinner on Thanksgiving. Yeah, that is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I saw that too. We'll talk about that in a second. Again, guys, like I said, I like to see a lot of thumbs up as the third reason. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon and hit all the bell notifications so you get all notifications as well. And thank you for that as well. Jeff Cooking Adventure. Hey, Prepper Nurse One. I think your audience and myself are all on the same page. We know what's going on. Thank you for your support, Prep On. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for that statement, and thank you for the donation as well. I think it's a good thing, though, a lot of times to reinforce things. And I think a lot of us that are on here watching, we are in the same mindset. We're awake. We see what's happening. We see the manipulation. We see the danger that's out there. And I think that that's a good thing. But reinforcement of that is always good. Hey, Jeremy Taylor. Hardcore lockdown starts. Hold on a second. Starts in Kentucky tomorrow at 5 p.m. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. That's not good. Not good at all. Thank you very much for sharing that information. And thank you for the donation as well. Yeah, there's, like I said, guys, so JJ had brought up the fact that they're recommending the CDC. They're not telling you not to, but they're recommending don't travel for Thanksgiving. Again, like Cuomo said in New York, if you're going to gather for Thanksgiving, eat outside. Like that's going to happen. Craziness, absolute craziness. Um, Again, total and complete control. Now, if you do exactly as you're told, like a good little sheep, then there's no problems for you. But are they going to go down and break doors down because people gathered in groups larger than 20 or larger than 10? Are they going to do that? Are they going to arrest people? I mean, think about that. What are they going to do? How are they going to stop you from doing what you do normally? Now, will there be people that are going to rat people in? Of course there will, because there's busybodies and nosy people all over the place. Okay. But as far as I know, from the people that I know, that I've talked to, even in my neighborhood, families are getting together because that's what we do. That's you know, yeah, eat outside, get a cold, and then you die that way. And then they can call it COVID. Unbelievably crazy. Just it's nuts. The whole thing is nuts. Yes, I saw that. Ruth Grant just said someone is pushing wearing mask at home, and I can't remember what state that was, but they were recommending that you wear mask when you're in your house. How stupid! I mean, that is beyond stupid as far as I'm concerned. It's just like when you're in your car, all by your lonesome, nobody else in the car, and you have your mask on. That's the height of intelligence, because who are you saving yourself from? Yourself? I mean, God, it's amazing. It is amazing to me. Oh, Pennsylvania is the one saying to wear a mask in your house? That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. Nuts. Yeah, Pennsylvania is saying wear a mask in home. They're morons, guys. They're morons. I'm sorry. And let's even go back. Let's go back. Okay. They have flip flopped so many times on what to do, what not to do. If you remember correctly, in the beginning, they said, don't wear a mask, you know, and now all of a sudden, now wear a mask. And it doesn't matter what kind of mask, it's okay. That's not the case. And I've talked about that. That's not the case. So, but, yeah, I don't wear one. As you guys know, I'm not going to get into all that again, but I don't wear one. So, and I go where I want to go. I do what I want to do. I am not going to be controlled. I am not a sheep. I'm not I'm not going to comply just to appease and make everybody else comfortable. If you're uncomfortable, that's on you. Come here, you. Come here. Can you say hi? There's my baby. She's doing really, really good, aren't you? Hmm. Are you doing good? She is so cute. She is so chill. She's a good dog. And she stays close, I can tell you right now. She definitely stays. Do you stay close with Daddy? Hmm. Do you? All right. She'll go back under the chair now. She probably went out and peed and pooped on the floor someplace out there. So she's been doing good, though. I've been catching her really good, getting her out on a regular basis, and and all that. Hey, Lone Star Pioneering. I need 1,600 horse to reach my 4K watch hours. Um, if you can, great show. So he needs 1,600 hours. He's got to get to Lone Star Prepping or Lone Star Pioneering. He needs 1,600 watch hours, guys. Don't know anything about his channel, so I can't say yay or nay if it's great or not great, so I don't know. But let's go show some support to help him get up to 4,000 watch hours. That's the criteria now for YouTube, that you have to have 4,000 watch hours and over 1,000 subscribers to be able to monetize your channel. So let's go show him some support, okay? Walking your dog apparently will give you the COVID. Eating delivered eggs for Thanksgiving apparently will do the same. Yeah, it's just like I said. Or deviled eggs. Deviled eggs. Yeah, they're nuts. It's again, control, control, control. It's all about control. I don't like being controlled. The only cat I have on the bed is Miss Bella, and she is sound asleep. So I'm not going to bother her because she can be unpleasant when she is disturbed. And actually, I got to tell you, So Hella was giving her what for earlier. Oh my God! And I kept telling Hella, "You better leave that one alone. You better leave her alone." I said, "She don't play." Next thing you heard, so it was pretty funny, didn't you? Yeah, you were playing with her, and then she gave you a swat, but she just wants to play. But anyway, guys, let's do this really quickly. I see we already got to the 1,000 thumbs up, so that's cool. Now we got to see if we can just for fun. We got 10 minutes. Let's see if we can get up to 1,100 before we get off here. So just for fun. Miss Molly, she is outside right now. It's actually pretty nice out tonight, so it's not bad weather-wise. You just want to sit up here? Okay, come here. So weather-wise, it's not bad out. So a lot of the cats are out tonight. That's why I only have one of them on my bed right now. Yes, Heather will be home for Thanksgiving. Yep, she will be. Um, so yeah, and who knows what's happening with these schools? Even because they're going to be on when they finish up here soon, they're on an extended break. They don't start back into school until January. So as soon as they finish up here, because they started school early, they're not going to be going back to school until January. And I think a lot of people are doing, a lot of the kids are coming home, not staying on campus. You've had a huge increase down there in the Rochester area. The numbers are going up. So you're having a lot more of the alert level, I think, is up to an orange for RIT. And you guys can look that up for yourselves. But I think you're going to end up seeing that a lot of these colleges are not going to go back where have the kids come back for the spring semester. What? What? Okay. It's not. But anyway, so let's do this really quickly. We are Legion because we are many. We're all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge family. We're part of the Prepper Nurse One family. We're all, like I said, we're all in it together. So where is everybody from tonight? Where are you all from? Heather's seen pictures of Hella. Austin, Texas, Ontario, Canada, Highland, New York, Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, Indiana. We have Oregon, Arkansas, Nowhere, Oklahoma. Let's see, Brookings South. I don't miss the rest of that. Sorry. New Jersey, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey again, upstate South Carolina, Huntsville, Alabama, Central Missouri. We have Minnesota, Paris, Texas, New York City, Washington State. We have France, New Hampshire, Montana, Cleveland, Ohio, Maryland, Kansas City, Missouri, London. We have Southeast Michigan, Ulster Park, New York, Western Oregon, Cape Cod, Huntington, Indiana, France, very cool, Virginia, California in the foothills, Middle Tennessee, Iowa, Oklahoma, Southern Oklahoma, New Zealand, very nice, Columbus, Ohio, Freetown, Indiana, Kent in the United Kingdom, very cool, Brookings, Southern Oregon coast, I believe, Howe, Texas, Idaho, Wisconsin, Southern Oregon coast. Okay, Brookings, Southern Oregon coast. Sorry, Kathy. It only took me like 4 times. Let's see. We have Texas again, Anderson, South Carolina, Washington State, Illinois, Melbourne, Australia. Very cool. Idaho, Detroit, Michigan, Holly, New York, Iowa, North Carolina, Central Kentucky, Stay Strong, Virginia, Colorado, Tennessee, Sioux City, Iowa, Nova Scotia, very nice. Gatlin, Pennsylvania, Troy, Vermont, Saskatchewan, Canada, very cool. Greensburg, Pennsylvania, Kansas, Washington, North Carolina, Syracuse, New York, Las Vegas. We have Disneyland, there you go. Dallas, Texas, we have the UK, Chesapeake, Virginia, BC, Canada, Walsa, Alaska. Oh, very cool. Oh, but you're in California right now, in Barstow, California right now. Very cool, though. Southwest Virginia, Muncie, Indiana. Let's see, Vancouver, Washington, Monroe, Michigan. We have Nevada, Northeast Nevada, the Bronx, very cool. Webster County, Kentucky, Chesapeake, Virginia, very nice. South Pass City, Wyoming, Albion, New York, very cool. So yeah, again, guys, we're all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge network, a huge family of folks. You know, we're the ones truly that are going to make a difference when the time comes, because we're the ones that are awake. We see what's going on. We see the manipulation. The more prepared we are, it puts us in a better position to help other people. And that's what we ultimately, in my opinion, what we should be doing. I think we've all been awoken for a reason. And I think that's part of the reason is to make a difference for the people that are unprepared, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be shell shocked when the time comes. Absolutely shell shocked, and they won't know what to do. And that's pretty frightening if you think about it. Could you imagine the lights go out tomorrow, not coming back on, and you are completely and utterly unprepared? Food, water, supplies, flashlights, candles, any of that stuff. You didn't think of anything. And you have minimal stuff in your house. That would be horrible. Horrible scenario. Very, very frightening. You're going to see a lot. And I've talked about this, and this is one thing I want to drive this home really quickly. The most dangerous person in the world is somebody, combination of two things: desperate and scared. They're the most dangerous. Not your ex Green Beret military guy that knows everything and does all that. They're not the scariest one. That person that is desperate and scared to death, they are the most dangerous people out there. And when the time comes, we need to remember that. So something to think about. Okay. We got Mobile, Alabama, Augusta, Georgia. I hadn't seen those ones before, so I figure I would say that again. I lived in Albion, New York as a kid, so I know the area well. But anyway, guys, I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you for the great chat. Thank you for the comments. Let's go one last push here to see if we can hit 1,100 on the thumbs up. I know I said 1,000, but we hit 1,000, so we got to see if we can hit 1,100. So again, if you have not hit that thumbs up button yet, I would ask you to do that really quickly to show support for the channel. And thank you very much for doing that. Also, parent with a hungry child, that goes along with desperate, Nina, Angelina. That goes along with desperate. They're very desperate to make sure their kids are fed. Again, it really does help with the algorithm, so the more interaction we get, the better. Thank you for that reason. And again, like I said, I'd like to see a lot of thumbs up. So if we could hit 1,100, that would be icing on the cake today. So again, thank you for that reason. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications. I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely Alex Bay, New York. Ever been there? Oh yes, Gene Boyles. Many, many times. Pirates Weekend. I was up there 3 years in a row for Pirates Weekend. Great Alexandria Bay. Great party town. Oh my God, we had so much fun. I see we hit the 1,100 on the thumbs up. Awesome, guys. Thank you. Great party up there. Beautiful area. Bolt Castle is up there. Highly recommended, guys. If you ever get up to the Finger Lakes in upstate New York, get up there. Alexandria Bay. Check out Bolt Castle. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So I want to thank my moderators who do a great job. They're awesome. Thank you, guys. I appreciate everything that you do, and ladies, of course, and do it. Yeah, 2 shows in a row, 1 take. Amazing how that works, right? So that's awesome as well. I'm really happy about that. Again, remember, we are truly all in this together. That is important to remember. I think a lot of people lose sight of that. Again, they get distracted. They let the media continue to play with our minds and hate each other, and it's the wrong way to go about it. Let's work together for the common good of human beings. That's what it should be about. Not about this color, this race, this religion, that religion. Working together as human beings. That's so important, in my opinion, okay? Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every day, tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really, really important that we tell the people that we love and that we care about every single day how we feel. That's so important as well. Also remember STD, step, thing, and day. It's 1 step at a time, 1 thing at a time, and 1 day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, You can do it. The only person that is going to stop you from reaching your goals is you. Nobody else can stop you. Just do the best you can. Work towards your goals. You can achieve it. You can. Don't listen to negative people telling you what you can and cannot do. Stay positive, stay focused, and you're going to be in much better shape. Okay. I hope everybody has a great week. Again, I will not be live streaming tomorrow. I will be back on live stream on Sunday. Okay. Again, a lot of progress going on here right now with this build. You're going to see those videos coming up. For some of you, it may be boring, and I apologize, but it's all part of what we're doing here, and I like to share everything. Okay? Have a great night. I will see you all later. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.